How's it going, folks? This is Aviel Leos from the Children's Court coming to you live from Mission Control Studios. And today we're going to be talking about the President's White House briefing that he had this afternoon, in which he declared that he will use military force after Democrat governors don't take their states back from these outside forces that are coming in and causing chaos, burning cities down, defacing businesses, looting or inciting lootings and things of that nature. So that's one thing. We're also going to be talking about the selective outrage and anger that black people within these protests have. And then on top of that, the almost cognitive dissonance that black people have, or Stockholm syndrome, when dealing with aggressive white liberals. It's really, I almost don't have the words to describe how different it is from the way that they deal with conservatives. But we'll get into that shortly. I wanted to just start off by saying I thought the president's briefing was really strong, and I think it was needed for everyday Americans that are just wondering when this is going to be over. Because, you know, as much as people support the peaceful protests, they don't support the rioting and the looting of their cities, especially with people being bussed in and systematically across the country destroying shopping centers and in some cases places that are a lot closer to people's neighborhoods and communities. I think that it was good that he addressed that in a very strong manner. And I think on top of that, him walking over to that presidential church with the whole team. He had Ivanka, Barr, damn near the whole cabinet, excuse my language. And he looked comfortable, and there was no sign of protesters in sight. This place where they had mobbed the night before, maybe even earlier that day, had absolutely no sign of any type of riot or a protester in sight. And that was a strong show of force and letting these people know who's really in charge and what they would be facing if they ever would have come head to head with the United States government. So I give him kudos for that. And just getting right into some of the cognitive dissonance, I feel like it's really disgusting how black people deal with the different sides of the political wings. When it comes to Antifa, black people are almost like well-trained slaves. And let me just give you some context to that. So the selective outrage, the cognitive dissonance, the Stockholm syndrome, it all kind of gets melded into one ball. So I'm probably going to just be touching on all of those things as I talk about this. So if you've been paying attention in social media lately, then you know that there are a lot of black people that are spotting the riot insiders, and they're calling them out. This is true, but they're not having that same energy for these people that they're having for the police on the front line trying to restore order. They're not having that same energy that they have on the internet for Donald Trump and his supporters. These people, and I said this before inside another video, these white Antifa members that are out there destroying windows and buildings and inciting the lootings that happen, because these Antifa members, they're not looting. They're literally busting doors open, unlocking them, and letting the black people run in and loot, and they're going to the next door to do it to somewhere else. They're literally, it's like giving dogs dog food. You know what I'm saying? So they're spraying Black Lives Matter on the walls, and people are catching them do this stuff. And they're asking, why are you doing that? You get where I'm going here? The rage is not there. The screaming, the surrounding them, the hitting them, and none of that's happening. These white people that are doing all, they're giving out bricks, they're spraying Black Lives Matter all over people's businesses, they're destroying local businesses and things of that nature. So the people that are spotting them are asking them, "Why are you doing this? Stop doing this." And these white people are totally disrespecting them. Some of these white people are like, "Get out of my face, or we'll fight." Some of these white people are just waving them off, like, "Whatever, don't worry about what we're doing." None of that crazy, wild energy that they have on the front lines with the police when they're pushing the bear. None of that is there. They're literally just going on about their business and doing it somewhere else. These black people are totally letting these Antifa members walk all over them, and there's a reason for that, because these Antifa are militant. A lot of them are just college students that are being trained to be brave in the heart and the face of black people. I think they're actually being trained that black people are not really as hard as they act. So they're barking at black people, and the black people are backing down. They're literally talking to these people like, "Why are you doing this? We're not doing that. This isn't the way we want to do it." And these white people are like, "Shut up. Get out of my foot." It's crazy. So it's almost like they have a training inside their head, like, these people are on the left. Don't you dare mess with those white people. You're not allowed to mess with them. So these white people will get to rain terror inside these communities under the cover of peaceful black protesters, and the police are being held back by the peaceful black protesters. The police have to deal with these black people on the front lines, while the white people are in the back throwing bricks, firecrackers, Molotov cocktails, and this is the whole setup. And so, why I say it's selective outrage, it's very simple. It's because these black people, when they know it's a conservative or police, somebody that is sanctioned by the left to scream and yell at and hit and stuff, those black people go absolutely apeshit on these people. Excuse my language. And it's really disgusting to see, because when we get online, I have a couple of friends on my Facebook page that are calling these riot insiders, these terrorists, white supremacist groups. Online, they're calling them white supremacist groups, but they know they're Antifa, a far left extremist groups. They know it's Antifa, but they're on the internet calling them white supremacists. So it's like a man beating his wife up, beating his kids up, destroying all the stuff in the house, and then the police come and they say, "It was a nigga," excuse my language. They say it was a black man. He came through the window and beat me up while my husband was on the toilet. It's insane. And I can't understand why black people are just... And then they'll just get mad at you for pointing it out. Like the one girl on my page, when I said, I was like, "I believe this will be the end of the riots after that presidential briefing from Donald Trump." And she says, "You sound happy about it." And I'm like, "Of course I'm happy about it. What do you think I'm supposed to cheer that on? People from outside of my city are coming in and destroying my community, and when it's all over, I wake up inside a third world ghetto." And then the other girl that commented on my page put a dissenting meme up of one of the football players, Shannon Sharp, going like this, and then the very next Facebook post she puts up is of the black protesters calling out one of the Antifa members for framing them. And I wrote on her page like, "Yo, what's the matter with you? You're on my page advocating for the riots, and now you're over here trying to wake people up to the fact that the rioters are not the protesters." It's like their brains are toasted. And I know I might be going all over the place. Hopefully you guys are following me, because I just want this to be understood. And I want black people to see this video so they can understand the programming and the conditioning they're under, because I don't even think they understand what they're doing. They are literally under serious Stockholm syndrome. whether it's white, if they're if these people that are causing the chaos are white supremacists, then black people that are protesting, you have to admit that you're letting white supremacists march with you and use you as a shield to destroy your community. So if we're calling them white supremacists, that's all good. They're still Antifa. And you have to admit that you are powerless against white supremacists spray painting every building in your neighborhood, busting out the windows of every business and setting everything on fire. You have to admit that you're afraid to stop them, but you're not afraid to go and scream inside some police officer's face and jump on a police vehicle car, because you know those people aren't going to try to beat you and kill you, even though that's what you're protesting against. Like you're afraid that you're going to die when you walk out your house and see a police officer. I'll tell you right now, in all my 35 years, 35 or 36, I've never been racially profiled in my life. And you know, most of the people in my life who are on this F the police stuff are criminals. They have criminal records. So me being a black person, probably blacker than most of you, never having any issues with the police other than when I'm speeding 100 miles an hour or something to get a ticket, it would tell me that, you know, we do have a large portion of the black population that's got some kind of police record. And those are the people, and the people under the influence of those people, because of rappers like Killer Mike and T.I., that the majority of our people believe that police are the enemy of the black community. So, are there bad police out there? Are there racist police out there? Absolutely, but to the point that we're running down cities across the country, no. We've been using the same photos of like, I think 10 people over the last 6 or 7 years, consistently, maybe adding one or two every couple of years or so. I think we're being a little bit dramatic. Do we want change? Do I support the marches for change? Of course, because we don't want it to happen once. If it's illegitimate, like it was with, you know, George Floyd. If they're chasing some drug dealers, and the drug dealers pull something out their pocket while they're running and get shot 10, 20 times, I have a little bit less sympathy for that type of person. But getting back to the point, black people have to stop being afraid of their real enemies. I talk about their real enemies all the time on my page. If you go throughout my videos, I'm talking about facing the threat right in front of you. And if you're gonna let Antifa run all over you and step all over you on the streets, and then get on the internet and call them white supremacists and listen to the media call them white supremacists, instead of calling them Antifa, the people that are on the street with you, you're a coward. And you're being an opportunist inside a situation, and trying to avoid any confrontation as much as you can. And going up to a riot line, a police riot line, and screaming at the police for 3 or 4 hours, that is not revolutionary. I'm sorry. I know you think you're doing something, but you're not. If you turn around to those people that came into your city to destroy it and police those people and fight those people, then you're a revolutionary, because you're stopping the enemy from coming into your home and destroying it. I don't, what is this, like 20 minutes already? This was supposed to be a 7-minute video, and it stretched a really long time. I just need to point out the hypocrisy inside these black protests and inside the minds of black people, because I see it too much. I see black people scream and yell at other black people who don't agree and talk about, we gotta exterminate these ones, we gotta get rid of these ones, this or that to get to the next level. I see them scream and yell at what they perceive to be racist on the internet, conservatives, wherever they can find them. But when it comes to these aggressive, left-wing, extremist white people, black people stay in their place. from the biggest diesel, from the most thugged out. I've seen endless videos of these black people that look scary backing down to these white college kids, probably. Some of them probably militant on the real, because they're being directed by a serious organization. This isn't no joke. But I see these black people backing down to little scrawny, probably sophomores in college, like they have like a chip in their brain that says, not this one. You can't get, no getting gangster with these ones over here. So, if you're going to represent for your people, then represent for your people. Letting a foreign invader come into your community and bust open doors and let you run in like they're feeding dogs kibble, that's disrespectful for one, and it's destroying your own community. After this COVID stuff's over and people want to go enjoy some lattes and shop downtown and stuff, what's going to be down there? A bunch of broken windows, shops closed. I think that it's universally known that the entire country supports the protesters and think that the death of George Floyd was disgusting and evil. But when you're out there protesting, at least have enough integrity to stop the people that are not there for George Floyd. And if you can't do that, then your protest means nothing to me, and it means nothing to the people who can change anything. Because you're not even brave enough to turn around and stop your enemies from destroying your house. And I'm going to leave it right there, folks. This video was literally supposed to be 7 minutes, and it went on for I don't know how long. Get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Have you seen some of that footage of black people trying to stop these white people, but not being aggressive at all and just begging, kind of? Get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.
Black country, young rebels, revolutionaries fighting for what's right. Your thrones are too high, you need to come back down to earth. We're real people, you fall, we still see you. You're lost, we won't leave you, I promise that. What the hell does it mean to act your own age? I said forget what's sin, I make my own wave. Prodigy went to his grave, trying to save you niggas from yourself. Black contra men are brave.